Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Prapti Sharma waiting for you all with another fun-filled and exciting video. This time the topic is the solar system. Let's start with it. The first topic is our introduction. Our solar system consists of 8 planets, a few celestial bodies, also known as heavenly bodies, and dwarf planets, asteroids, meteoroids, comets, etc. This is a very exciting topic for you all. Let's start with it. The diagram of the solar system is given at the bottom. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. These are the sequence of the planets, the 8 planets which consist of the solar system. Our solar system is there in the Milky Way galaxy. You all know that. A very fun and exciting way to learn these 8 planets in a sequential manner is to learn a quote. That quote is, "My very efficient mother just serves noodles." So, my starting with M, so Mercury. Very starting with V, so Venus. Efficient starting from E, so Earth. Mother starting from M, so Mars. Just starting with J, so Jupiter. Serve starting from S, so Saturn. Us starting from U, which is Uranus, and noodles, or you can say nuts, whatever you like. So starting with N, so it's Neptune. The next topic of R is orbit. An orbit refers to a regular repeating path that a celestial body or object like our own Earth takes around another object like the Sun. Planets, comets, asteroids, and other objects in our solar system orbits the Sun. Orbits are elliptical, which means they make the shape of ellipse. Planets go around in orbits that are almost circular. On the other hand, the orbits of comets are highly eccentric or squashed. They look more like thin ellipses than circles. Without gravitational pull, any sun-orbiting object would fly off into the space along a straight line. The next topic is the phases of moon. The various shapes of a bright part of the moon visible during a month are called phases of moon. Moon changes its shape periodically on its position with respect to the Earth and the Sun. The diagram of phases of moon is given at the bottom. You may see them. The first and the last quarter, the moon is at the half. On the day on which the moon appears as a circular disk is known as a full moon day. Full moon day is completely visible between waning gaseous and waxing gaseous. You can see that. A crescent is a small arc-shaped section of the visible portion of the moon, illuminated by the sun. You may see that waning crescent and waxing crescent after and before the new moon. Now, what is the new moon now? A new moon day is the day when moon is completely invisible from the earth. You may see that in the picture also. It's very important actually. Now, our next topic is the motion of moon. Moon revolves around planets. Take for example the earth. One revolution of moon around the earth takes approximately 29 days. The earth along with the moon revolves around the sun. One revolution of earth and moon around the sun takes approximately 365 days and a quarter of a day. A quarter of a day is equal to 1/4 of a day. Now, have you ever wondered why only one face of the moon is only visible to us? The reason is the tidal locking. Now, what is tidal locking? Now, tidal locking is the name given to a situation when an object orbital period matches its rotational period. This results in the same face of the moon always facing the earth. It's very exciting. The next topic of ours is distance and the speed in our solar system or any space. Now, light travels at a speed of around 3 lakh kilometers to the power of -1. The earth is about 1.5 million kilometers away from the sun. Hence, it takes 8 minutes 22 seconds to be precise, for a sunlight to reach the earth. Now, what is the unit by which the distance is measured in space? Of course, it would not be measured in kilometers and meters, which is present day. It's measured. So, light year is the unit of distance. It is used to measure the distance of faraway stars and planets in the space. Now, there is a very fun fact waiting for you all. Now, what is that fun fact? Pluto, earlier designed as the 9th planet, is no longer as a planet, as it does not meet the criteria set for a planet by the International Astronomical Union. It is now referred to as a dwarf planet. Very interesting. Let's now talk about our sun. A sun is a star, very strong saying. It is the only source of light on the solar system and also the nearest star. The stars appears to move from east to west as our earth rotates from the west to east. Now, the sun is the nearest star. So what about the next nearest star above the sun? Now, above the sun, there is again a next nearest star, which is called as Alpha Centauri, at the distance of, you can see the number of zeros in 340 trillion kilometers away from the earth. The distance is from the earth. It is 40 trillions. Check out the number of zeros if I'm wrong. Next topic is our pole star and constellations. Very interesting topic now. A pole star of Polaris is a one star whose position seems to be fixed. All other stars seem to move around the pole star. These stars, forming a group that has a recognizable shape, which is traditionally named after mythological figure, is called as a constellation. Now, first talking about the pole star. Pole star is only visible in the northern side or in the northern hemisphere. Now talking about constellations. Now the star forming a group that has a recognizable shape, which is traditionally named after mythological figures, is called as constellation. You may heard about these. They are very interesting. Some of them are in spoon shape. The examples of constellations are Scorpia, the Hunter, the Scorpia, Virgo, etc. Even the name of the polar bear, you may have heard about it. The bear shaped and the lion shaped, which is Scorpia. And Scorpia is like a princess sitting on a chair. It's mythological, actually imaginary figures. You may see the examples, 3 examples given below at the bottom also. Now, we'll talk about the different 8 planets and including a dwarf planet, earlier the 9th planet that we talked about in the previous slide. Now, first up in our list is Mercury. Mercury is the nearest planet to the Sun and also the nearest planet in our solar system. Smallest planet in our solar system. It is usually hidden due to the sun's glare, but can be seen just before sunrise or sunset. Its axis is tilted by 2.18 degrees. It does not have any moon. It completes one rotation in 58.7 days and one revolution in 88 days. Pretty interesting. Next is Venus. Venus is the brightest planet in the night sky. Very interesting this time. It's the closest planet to Earth. Although not a star, it is called as morning star or evening star. You may know the reason before that. As it appears in the eastern sky before sunrise and in the western sky after sunset. You may have heard about this morning star or the evening star in the previous classes or in the daily life also. Its axis is tilted by 177.4 degrees. It completes one rotation in 243 days and one revolution in 224 days. Its rotation period is more than the revolution period. Pretty interesting. It also doesn't have any moon, just like the Mercury. Its maximum surface temperature is 462 degrees Celsius. Pretty hot. Now, talking about our own planet on which life is habitable, which is known as the Earth. Now, there is a very interesting fact about the Earth. That interesting fact is that Earth is in the Goldilocks zone. You may be heard about this very famous story, which is the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Their story, I'm not talking about the story, but the Goldilocks word in it. That Goldilocks zone is there in a space in which only two planets consist in the Goldilocks zone. That two planets are Earth and the Mars. That Goldilocks zone is termed as a Goldilocks zone because the fixed amount of sunlight has been there. Not too much, not too less. Now talking about the Earth, like the one more reason for why life is possible on Earth is that the Earth is present in the Goldilocks zone. Now the Earth is the only habitable planet in our solar system. Life exists on Earth due to several optimal conditions like the presence of atmosphere and water and right distance away from the sun, as I mentioned actually. The Earth appears bluish green from the outer surface as the light from the landmass and water bodies gets reflected. Its axis is tilted by doing 3.4 degrees. It completes one rotation in 23.9 hours and one revolution in 365.25, which is a quarter days. It has only one moon. You may see them in the night sky actually. If you're listening to this video at the night, you can see that also. The planet is Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. It's often referred to as a red planet because the reddish iron oxide prevalent on this surface gives its reddish appearance. Mars has two natural satellites or two moons. The name of the two moons are Deimos and Phobos. Its second smallest planet in the solar system. Its axis is tilted by 25 degrees. It completes one rotation in 24.6 hours and one revolution in 697 days. You may have seen the movie which is the Mission Mangal, which is based on the mission to Mars, Mangal mission. You may have heard about this also. Now next is our planet Jupiter. Very interesting. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. So big that it can accommodate 1,300 Earths. Look at the number. Although it is only 318 times heavier than Earth. Jupiter has at least 67 moons. At least 67. Look at the number of moons. The Earth, compared to Earth, it is too very high. Jupiter has a big red spot, which is a gigantic storm that has been swirling for many years, which is twice as wide as Earth. This red spot is also twice than the Earth. How big it is. You can imagine that. Its axis is tilted 3.1 degrees. It's too less. It's complete one rotation in 9.9 hours and one revolution in 11.9 years. The increasing in the time of revolution will be the reason would be the larger the orbit area compared to the Earth. The reason would be that also. The main reason would be that only. The next planet is the Saturn. Saturn is the second largest planet in our solar system. It is unique as it has thousands of beautiful rings. Saturn has a large number of moons, 65 as of known. Actually, Saturn has a large number of moons, but 62 are just known. There are many others also. Its axis is tilted 26.7 degrees. It completes one rotation in 10.5 hours and one revolution in 29.5 years. It is a gas giant with a very low density and can float on water. There is a very interesting fact of a Jupiter that I want to share with you. The largest moon of the Jupiter, which is known as Ganymede, it has an ocean which contains water. It has an ocean of about 1,038 kilometers across, but the condition is that it is beneath the surface of the Jupiter's largest moon, which is the Ganymede. The name of the moon is Ganymede. That is a very interesting fact that I've told you. Now we have done Saturn. Now the second last planet, which is Uranus. Uranus rotates from west to east. Its axis has a huge tilt, which makes it look like it spins on its side. Its axis is tilted 97.7 degrees. It completes one rotation in 17.24 hours and one revolution in 84.3 years. It has a total of 27 moons. Next, last but not the least, the planet in our solar system, which is the 8th planet and the farthest planet in our solar system. It is a really strong wind which has more power than any other planet in our solar system. Interesting fact again. Its axis is tilted 97.7 degrees. It completes one rotation in 16.1 hours and one revolution in 164.8 years. It has a total of 14 moons. Now we are going to talk about a dwarf planet, which was earlier a 9th planet as discussed in the previous slide. Its axis is tilted by 119.6 degrees. It completes one rotation in 6.4 days and one revolution in 247.7 years. Look at the number. It's too small and the revolution period is too high. I see too much. It has a total of 5 moons. A planet which is smaller than Earth and has 5 times more number of moons than the Earth. Very interesting. Now we are going to talk about asteroids. Now what are asteroids? The first question that should come into your mind. The asteroids are generally the rocky materials which are present in the solar system. Now many asteroids come together to form a belt. Now an asteroid belt is a large number of small celestial bodies between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. It's talking about the asteroid belts. It revolves around the sun in their orbit. In their orbit means the orbit which asteroids itself has. The next topic is very interesting, which is comets. Comets are celestial bodies or heavenly objects. Actually, celestial bodies are also known as heavenly objects, if you don't get confused. Then that revolves the sun in a long elliptical orbits. They are usually made up of ice, dust and gases and have a very long tail that always directed away from the sun. As a comet gets closer to the sun, it heats up and spews out jets of gases and forms a huge glowing head. Now next topic is a very interesting topic, which is of meteor and meteoroid. You may have seen it when making a wish to them. You may have heard it when you were a childhood or what. Meteors are a very small objects, mainly leftover broken asteroids that enters the Earth's atmosphere at a high speed. You may have heard about it and even seen them, meteors and meteoroids. The friction between the atmosphere and the meteor causes it to burn and evaporate before it reaches the surface. That is why they appear as bright streak of light in the sky. Sometimes when a meteor is large and does not evaporate in the atmosphere, it streaks the surface. This is known as meteorites. Now you know the difference between meteors and meteoroids. I hope it is very clear to you. Now, our last topic, but not the least topic, that is the artificial satellites. You may have heard about it many, more than what is given in this slide. Artificial satellites are man-made objects that are launched from the Earth and revolve around the Earth, much closer than the natural satellites. This natural satellite is generally the moon. They are used for various applications such as remote sensing, weather forecasting, transmitting signals. Examples of the artificial satellites are INSET, IRS, Sputnik 1, etc. Now, thank you so very much for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe my video if you like them. And I hope that you like this video. Please watch this fully. Thank you very, very much.